Hello everyone, and I'm going to do this video because I am strongly against circumcision. I really am. I'm strongly against circumcision. Let me start this by quoting Penn. How is circumcision any different from female genital mutilation? Don't answer that. Just think about it. I'll tell you why it's no different from female genital mutilation. Now, if you know how wrong female genital mutilation is, then why do people strongly say baby boys should get the tips of their dicks cut off after they're born? Well, there's a religious background to it. Apparently, the churches of Christianity, but first, the religion of Judaism was the first one to come up with this theory, is that if you cut the foreskin off, a baby boy will grow up not having the urge to jerk off. Literally, that was their theory. Then the Christian religion took that theory and put it into play as well. You know what's so wrong about that? Men and women masturbate on a daily basis. You can't stop men and women from masturbating. You can't. You can't stop men and women from masturbating. It's a natural instinct that men and women masturbate because it's relieving sexual tension that's within the body. And also, it reduces massively stress levels. It's true, but just don't do it out in public. You know, these Guy-Fi booths in New York, don't jerk off in the street. If you want to masturbate at home. You know, where, you know, no one is, you know, throwing up walking in New York. But the point is, though, these Guy-Fi booths, I'll do another video on that. But circumcision is no different than female genital mutilation. With female genital mutilation, they basically remove the outer lips and the clitoris of women, so they don't have any orgasms or any sexual pleasure from sex. The same thing goes with men. Just picture the foreskin as the clitoris for men's penises. It's the same thing. It gives men sexual pleasure, and it also is more beneficial when men have their foreskin. And you're going to see 3 videos, 2 made by highly intelligent women, and another video by Discovery News of how circumcision affects men. So without further ado, let's begin. This is the first video.
Babe, I've got a question. How would you feel if today your mother would come and tell you this?
Honey, I've decided to cut off your arm. Don't worry, I know what's best for you. Here's the doctor, here's the knife. But, don't worry, you have a second arm. You don't need to.
Do you think this would never happen? Well, maybe not with an arm, but something similar happens to millions of baby boys every day. Half of their genitals get chopped off because 1/3 of the world believes that it looks better, is healthier, or religiously expected. But
see, like I said, it looks nicer, healthier,
or religiously expected,
and has religious background to it. This is why I'm strongly against circumcision. There are more reasons why I'm against circumcision. Continue on.
But Does it really look better? Does it really contribute to health? Why do people actually cut off foreskin? You know me, I'm a thinker and I like to question the human mind. So I started to question circumcision with an open mind and an open heart, and I found out some pretty unbelievable stuff. So in order to properly analyze this, let us look at some scientific facts about the foreskin. The foreskin contains up to 20,000 nerve endings, which makes up about half the nerve endings of the entire penis.
Yes, I just want to reflect on fact number 1 about the nerve endings. All those nerve endings give that sexual pleasure. So same thing with female genital mutilation. Once you remove the clitoris, and same thing with circumcision. Once you remove the foreskin, there's no self-lubricant in the genitalia anymore, and there's no sexual pleasure. So therefore, basically your genitals have been mutilated for life.
On the inner surface of the foreskin is a fluid called smegma. This stuff is magic. It contains immune cells which protects the penis from nasty viruses.
Ah, yes. And with fact number 2, I would just like to add on to that. That smegma that she was talking about. Let's just say that this smegma, even if you're wearing a condom, if you're not circumcised and the condom breaks, that smegma will fight off possible sexual transmitted diseases, while a circumcised penis without the foreskin, that smegma can't operate. So if the condom breaks, basically you have a 50-50 chance of getting an STD. Basically, you're fucked. Continue.
And not just this, the foreskin protects the glans penis from friction and abrasion throughout life, keeping it soft, moisturized, healthy, and sensitive. It's kind of like a free spa treatment every day, all day. And boy, how awesome is this? The foreskin produces its own lubricant for free.
And so does the vagina as well. Both male and female genitalia does have the ability to self-lubricate itself. So there's really no need of wasting your money on lubricants. You could if you want to, but your body does it naturally. And I'm just saying, it's your money. I'm not telling you how you spend it. I'm just giving you a suggestion that it may be better to save your money by not buying something that your body can actually produce. Continue.
And during intercourse, the foreskin helps to reduce friction for your lady and stimulate her G-spot. To put it in really simple words, the foreskin is magic. It is a
Yes, and before she continues with this, if you ask women who had sex with men who were circumcised and not circumcised, as she mentions, more women prefer men who are not circumcised because of these women that had sex with men who were circumcised basically compared to having sex with them like fucking a mop broom, a mop stick. So just imagine that. Imagine, doesn't matter if you're male or female, imagine fucking a pine cone. That's what women think when they have sex with men who are circumcised. Unpleasant, right? Of course it's unpleasant.
specialized structure with super important protective, erogenous, and sexual functions. Just a few years back, scientists performed a circumcision in an MRI machine to monitor the baby's brain during circumcision. The whole procedure caused so much pain to the baby that it produced permanent changes to his brain. They continued to make scans over the next days, weeks, months, and even a year, and found that the brain never returned to the baseline. Some babies feel so much pain that they begin choking. Others go into shock and stop screaming because their tiny body doesn't know how to respond to the overwhelming pain. Each year, over 100 newborn baby boys die as a result of circumcision complications. The foreskin is a densely innervated structure. When it gets destroyed and damaged, it can cause a myriad of problems, such as erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, infections, a buried penis, tingling, numbness, decrease of sexual sensation, and many, many more issues. Today, a large part of the medical world also know that circumcision trauma can cause mental problems such as post-traumatic stress disorder, depression, anger, low self-esteem, and it might even double the risk of autism.
I just want to call her out on one thing. With the autism thing, well, we're not necessarily sure what causes autism. Autism could be caused by anything. I mean, circumcision could be a factor, but there's no conclusive evidence yet that circumcision causes autism. But the low self-esteem, anger, depression, post-traumatic stress disorder, that shit could occur naturally to men and women who, and that could occur with men who are circumcised or not. That could occur with women as well. That's just human things and that happen to us. And anger is a natural emotion. I just want to add that on because this is the only thing about the video that throws me off a little.
And even double the risk of autism. The foreskin contains several very special structures that increase sexual pleasure, such as the frenulum and rigid band. Both are removed in circumcision. The rigid band, for example, contains so-called fine touch receptors. You have the same kind of nerve also in the lips and fingertips. If you want to get a better idea of the sensation these nerves provide, then try this experiment. First, lightly stroke your fingertip over the back of the other hand. Now stroke your fingertip over the palm of your hand. Feel the difference? They say the least sensitive parts of the foreskin are more sensitive than the most sensitive parts of the circumcised penis. Truth is that in a landmark study of US women, 85% who had experienced both circumcised and uncircumcised men preferred sex with circumcised men. Some of these women associated sex with circumcised men with pain and dryness. This is because the head of the circumcised penis scrapes out lubrication out of the vagina with each stroke. In another study, women were twice as likely to reach orgasm with an intact man. This is because the uncircumcised penis provides a natural lubrication inside the vagina and a gentle internal rolling and gliding massaging sensation. In the last years, there have been many claims that...
Oh, before we continue, we're getting towards the end of the video. Just hang on tight, and ladies, if you're thinking of putting on makeup, you might want to second guess. Just say.
Circumcision prevents HIV or STDs. Truth is, these studies have repeatedly been proven to be exaggerated or even false. Only abstinence and safe sex can prevent you from such diseases. So, after all my research, I asked myself, why would doctors continuously claim that circumcision is a healthy choice if babies can die from it, if there's no real proof that it prevents diseases, and MRI tests clearly show the disturbing long-term effects circumcision has on the brain, body, and therefore life of a baby? Well, I dug deeper and...
I'll warn again, if any ladies who are watching this are thinking of putting on makeup, you might want to second guess. And anyone who gags easy, I don't gag easy, I need something really disgusting to gag at, but this is disturbing more so to me, but some people actually might find this gag worthy. Especially ladies who are thinking of putting on makeup today. Continue.
Found out about the hidden industry of baby foreskins. The foreskin of the baby has magical cell properties similar to those found in stem cells. Because of this, the chopped up baby foreskin is not tossed out, but instead being sold to companies which make high-end facial creams out of it. Companies will pay thousands of dollars for a single foreskin. It is this powerful. The baby won't see a penny of this deal. You see, this video is not about saying what's right or wrong. It's not about blaming doctors, families, religions, or anyone. It's simply made for the purpose of giving you an additional perspective on circumcision. You're free to make with this information whatever you choose. You can share it with the world, or you can toss it in the trash. Either way is alright with me, because if you made it until here, my mission is completed.
Yeah. So pretty much, before we go to the next video, pretty much, ladies, if you're thinking of putting on makeup, you're basically putting on chopped up baby boy foreskin on your face. You know how disgusting that is? You know how literally disgusting that is? And actually, and men as well, if you need skincare for anything like I do, we're still doing the same fucking thing. Even in Proactive, baby foreskin is an ingredient. I'll try not to think about it, but I have to use Proactive because I have acne problems due to the medication I'm on. But my point is, though, is the fact that I'm trying not to think about the fact that baby foreskin is in the formula. Anyway, we're going to move to our next video, which is by a lady from the No Circ Foundation. And she explains more into detail why circumcision is wrong.
Hello, my name is Lori Evans, and I'm director of the New York Hudson Valley chapter of NOCIRC and the National Organization of Circumcision Information Resource Centers. About 25 years ago, I was teaching parents to massage their babies when I learned about the harm of male circumcision. It was very disturbing to me because I'm Jewish and I didn't know how I was going to make a decision if I were to have a son, what I was going to do. So I started to do research pre-internet. And I've learned a lot since then. Most people think it's a little snip like cutting a nail or hair, and it is not. At birth, the foreskin is attached to the glands like the nail to the nail bed. What they remove grows to become 12 to 15 square inches of erogenous tissue, the inner mucus and the outer lining. If you think when you rub your eye, where do you put your finger? You put it on the eyelid. It's similar. It's meant to be a moist internal organ. If you remove the eyelid, nothing will move. And nothing, it will no longer be moist.
Yeah, if anyone's still not convinced who's watching this that circumcision is wrong, do that experiment yourself. Do that finger on your palm test that we see in the first video, or rub your eye and feel the moisture that you get from the eye. That's the importance of the foreskin on male penises. And same thing with, that's the importance of clitorises for women's vaginas. Continue.
Started in the United States in the 1800s to prevent masturbation. They even did it to girls. It is outlawed as a felony here for girls, even if the Muslim religion requires that. And yet, for males, they do not have the same protection. Due to our work, we have over 110 chapters in 15 countries.
Can we just go back to that? The Muslim religion does not necessarily require circumcision as with all religious matters, it is up to your own interpretation. Now, that is a sane stance on circumcision from an organized religion. Continue.
For males, they do not have the same protection. Due to our work, we have over 110 chapters in 15 countries. We have had international symposium every 2 years. This year is about the 11th or 12th. We have 5 medical textbooks. When I was talking to some nursing students a few months ago at a college, I asked them, I had 10 books with me. How many of you have ever seen an entire book on circumcision? Not one had. And I said, what information did your medical textbook have? And they said, pro-circ. So it gets perpetuated to prevent penile cancer, cervical cancer. Now the big thing is HIV. The men who died in this country were circ, the men who died with HIV. So just like, intact hair, with more and more parents opting not to allow their children to be circumcised. You have to know that many men do not retract, go back until puberty, and no doctor, as long as they're being normally, no doctor should be telling you to push back to clean. The boy should do that himself. As a Jewish woman, I'm a proud mother of a 22-year-old intact son, and when people ask me about our religion, I say that my son's religion is in his heart and soul and not his genitals. Let's be like China, who ended foot binding. We can do this one baby at a time. And check out our website, nocirc.org, circumcision.org, intactamerica.org, and you will learn more than most doctors in this living. Okay.
Yes, she's right. Remember when I said when you were watching the last video that Sigma, that you know, that antiviral bacteria in the foreskin that fights off viruses. In the 1980s, when the HIV outbreak happened, now, not all of it was sexually transmitted. That's just the truth. Not all the time did someone get HIV from a sexually transmitted disease. Some people got it through blood transfusions. Some people got it by being druggies. And some people got, like I said, some people got it through sexually transmitted diseases. So that's a strong reason to be against circumcision, is the fact that it doesn't protect you against HIV. In fact, it makes you more prone to sexually transmitted diseases than if someone's uncircumcised like I am. Now we're going to move on to the final video. Oh, I forgot to present. Ah, there we go. Hello, sir, and what do you have on circumcision today?
We all know that the penis is a sensitive organ, and yet there are many who choose to cut off a chunk of their kid's manhood. But what does this do to the penis? Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching DNews Today. The practice of circumcision dates back thousands of years, popping up in ancient cultures across Asia, Africa, Australia, and the Americas, all of them independently, before any knew that the other existed. It's practiced in Muslim, Christian, and Jewish populations. Worldwide rates vary, but in the U.S. from 1980 to 1999, 65% of the babies were cut. And today, it's closer to 56%. Rates have been falling since 1960, actually. Nationally, 3 out of 4 babies get the procedure in the Midwest, 2/3 in the Northeast, and a little over half in the South, but only a fifth in the West. Circumcision is the act of slicing the foreskin off of the penis. A natural penis has skin covering its head or glands, but a circumcised one does not. The DiscoveryNews.com article describes the foreskin as an eyelid for the penis, which is actually kind of a weird analogy, but they are similar in that there is a mucous membrane on the inside. The adult foreskin is about 12 square inches of skin containing specialized nerve endings. From a sexual standpoint, circumcision removes 1/3 of the erogenous tissue of the male genitalia. As the penis and clitoris come from the same fetal tissue, they're homologous. The analogous organ to the foreskin is the clitoral hood. Obviously, there's a ton of debate as to the real benefits of circumcision, and it doesn't help that the policies keep shifting. In 1999, the American Academy of Pediatrics issued a statement calling the practice into question, saying that the risks didn't outweigh the benefits. But now a new compilation study done by the Mayo Clinic claims that the benefits outweigh the risks 100 to 1. According to their findings, over their lifetime, half of all men will require some kind of foreskin-related medical attention. Circumcision reduces risks of urinary tract infection, prostate cancer, and sexually transmitted diseases, as well as the risk of cervical cancer is reduced for the female partners of men who have been circumcised.
But honestly, in the first video, she mentioned that that's not proven. So is this video pro-circumcision? I think it is, but we're going to continue watching it anyway.
In fact, the World Health Organization recommended the procedure for any country attempting to battle HIV infection. Now you might be thinking, well, wait a minute. The United Nations World Health Organization has a pruned penis policy? Yeah, it does. And a 2010 study from PLOS ONE explains why. See, the foreskin isn't just an extra bit of skin down there on the bits. Foreskin is a protective mucous membrane layer. So it also attracts bacteria. Actually, according to the study, the foreskin has its own microbiome. For the study, researchers from Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health looked under the hood of uncircumcised penises, and they found anaerobic bacteria. That's bacteria that lives without oxygen. Studying Ugandan men before and after circumcision, the researchers discovered that this previously unknown anaerobic bacteria disappeared in the year after uncircumcised men were circumcised, forever altering the individual microbiome of the male penis. It's known from other studies that Langerhans cells normally live under the foreskin as well, and they're commonly attacked by HIV. So perhaps that's why HIV transmission is so much lower in circumcised men, but they're still figuring this out. In the end, the practice is ancient and fascinating, but is it necessary? Not at all. And there is still a roaring debate about removing 1/3 of penile erogenous tissue, issues of cleanliness, not to mention possible side effects of the major trauma of cutting off part of the genitalia. But what do you think? Most people have opinions, and this is your turn to bear it all. Go down into the comments, make sure you subscribe, and come back for more DNews.
Hold on a sec. Wait. Hold on a sec. If this isn't if this isn't pro-circumcision video, then why are they talking about false information that isn't scientifically proven? After all, this is Discovery News. And Discovery Channel used to be scientific. Anyway, I'm gonna have my comment. Anyway, need to add to that. So there you have it. One video that talks about the benefits, and there's no benefits to circumcision. There really isn't. There's more risk with circumcision than there are benefits. But circumcision is just as barbaric as female genital mutilation. But I don't know why the fascination of men getting the tip of their dicks cut off is okay, but you know, you keep a woman in the United States gets to keep her clitoris. Cutting that off is illegal and immoral, but chopping the tip of a dick of a guy, or a baby boy at that, isn't? This world's fucking backwards. Both forms of genital mutilation should be morally wrong. This is why I'm against circumcision. I'm glad I'm not circumcised. I feel sorry for people my age, men my age who are. See you guys.